Schadenfreude? Everybody must have screamed, ah! He's a song hero. A little pushy. Are you back from listening to Stairway to Heaven twice? Now, those are just words I looked up on the internet.
Unreasonable Down, a podcast about West Virginia University basketball, starts now.
Hello! Welcome to the 6th annual Cammy Awards, celebrating the best in West Virginia University men's basketball for the 2022-2023 season. I will be the master of ceremonies today. My name is Josh Witt. What a season, NCAA tournament season. Let's celebrate the season with giving out some Cammies. And let's start with the first Cammy category, Best Feeling After a Game. The nominees for Best Feeling After a Game are Florida Phil Knight Legacy Tournament in Portland, Oregon. Auburn in the Coliseum Big 12 SEC Challenge. Iowa State in the Hilton Coliseum. And Kansas State Senior Day in the Coliseum. And the Cammy for Best Feeling After a Game goes to Kansas State Senior Day. What a great feeling after the game. 5 seniors scoring 87 of the Mountaineers' 89 points on Senior Day against the ranked team that as of this ceremony is going to the Elite Eight. And West Virginia wins that game to feel secure about an NCAA tournament invite. It really checks all the boxes. Great feeling. I accept the word on the best feelings behalf. Moving right along, the next Cammy category, worst feeling after a game. The nominees are Oklahoma State, the crotch grab game. Baylor, the Jalen Bridges homecoming. Texas Christian University at Fort Worth on that ridiculous court. And Texas Tech home. And the winner for worst feeling after the game, and I felt this in person, Texas Tech in the Coliseum. Home loss, 3 losses in a row. Moved to the wrong side of the tournament bubble against the worst team in the conference. The guys with the ponytails for the other team couldn't miss. That was absolutely the worst feeling after a game. I accept the award on the worst feelings behalf. Let's liven it up with the best moment of the season. The Cammy nominees for best moment of the season are Eric Stevenson with the late baseline 3 in the win versus Auburn. Joe Toussaint with the dish to Emmett Matthews for a dunk late in the Iowa State win. Kedrian Johnson with a rundown block of Marquise Noel followed by a drive and kick out to Stevenson for a 3 on Senior Day versus Kansas State. And Kedrian Johnson with a 4-point play after 2 consecutive 3-point plays in Maryland's in the game versus Maryland NCAA tournament. And the winner for best moment of the season goes to the Emmett Matthews dunk at Iowa State. West Virginia was up 1 late. Joe Toussaint got to the spot that he got to just the game before on the last possession of the Kansas game, but this time finds a cutting Emmett Matthews for a dunk. Mountaineers go up 3, end up winning the game. Best road win in 2023. I accept the award on the best moments behalf. Now for individual awards, the Cammy category, Newcomer of the Year. The nominees are Trey Mitchell, Eric Stevenson, and Joe Toussaint. And the winner for Newcomer of the Year is Eric Stevenson. Congratulations to Eric. He saved his best college season for WVU, made a mark on the program. He was the best newcomer of the year. Congratulations to Eric. I accept the award on his behalf. This is a first-time category for the Cammies, Old Comer of the Year. The nominees for Old Comer of the Year are Emmett Matthews Jr. And the winner for Old Comer of the Year, Emmett Matthews Jr. Emmett spends 3 seasons with West Virginia, 1 at Washington, spends his final eligibility season back at WVU, scored double digits in 8 of his last 10 games before the NCAA tournament, drank from Huggins' water bottle. Perhaps the first and last time this specific Cammy Award is given out. Congratulations to Emmett Matthews. I accept his award on his behalf. The next category, moving right along, the Cammy for Most Improved Player. The nominees are Kedrian Johnson, James Okonkwo, Seth Wilson, and the winner of the Cammy for Most Improved Player goes to Kedrian Johnson. His 3rd season at West Virginia was his most impactful, started every game he played in. Kedrian had career season averages in minutes, 3-point percentage, free throws per game, free throw percentage, assists per game, steals per game, and of course, points per game. Got his career high in points on senior day, topped that in his last game for WVU versus Maryland. Congratulations to friend of the podcast, Kedrian Johnson. I accept Kedrian's award on his behalf. The biggest tournament in college basketball is underway, and the action is just getting started on DraftKings Sportsbook, one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 on any pregame moneyline bet and score $150 in bonus bets if your team wins. Plus, combine multiple bets for a shot at an even bigger payout. DraftKings will be featuring parlays and odd boosts all tournament long, so be sure to check the DraftKings Sportsbook app every day to see what they have in store. Ookla looks really good. Would you bet Ookla? Team that's been here quite a few times. Mick Cronin, the Owls of Florida Atlantic. Lots of teams to root for, Big 12 teams to root for. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and sign up with code TBPN. Right now, new customers can bet $5 on any pregame moneyline bet and get $150 in bonus bets if your team wins. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code TBPN. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Welcome back to the 6th annual Cammy Awards. The technical Cammy Awards were given at a separate ceremony across the river in St. Albans, West Virginia. Here's some highlights from that award ceremony. Best New Assistant Coach went to DeMar Johnson. The worst technical foul, that was the best technical foul, went to the Trey Mitchell elbow at Iowa State. The worst technical foul, that was the worst technical foul. That award went to the Eric Stevenson crotch grab. The technical award for Big 12 team that I enjoyed watching the most that's not WVU, the winner was Kansas State. The best moment at a game that didn't happen during play goes to Emmett Matthews drinking out of Coach Huggins' water bottle. The technical award for best active winning streak over a non-conference opponent, that award went to the 5 wins in a row over the Pittsburgh Panthers. The most downloaded episode, this is live, folks. The most downloaded episode of Unreasonable Doubt, that technical award went to Florida. And the least downloaded episode went to Texas Tech at home. This is your host, Josh Witt. I'm out in the crowd. This is a live event that happens in person. This is a podcast, so I need to explain to you what's happening on stage. The lights have been dimmed, and as you can hear by the music, the montage for the in memoriam montage is starting. And they've started with Larry Harrison. Larry Harrison coached alongside Bob Huggins for 24 years, 16 at West Virginia, 8 at Cincinnati, got fired after the home loss to Baylor. We wish Larry Harrison the best in his future endeavors. The rare not Mountaineer in the in memoriam montage, Jim Boeheim. And it just says on the screen, the Zone King and the Smug King. We wish Jim Boeheim the best in his future endeavors. Now it's got the title screen of WVU players in memoriam. Starting with Jamel King. Jamel King, 15 points in 16 total games over his 2 seasons with West Virginia. He announced recently he's entering the transfer portal. Jamel King, when he did come in the game, he was hunting for threes. He should be excited, and I'm sure we'll find a home where he'll get to shoot threes at another school. We wish Jamel King the best in his future endeavors. The next guy up, Eric Stevenson. This is not on the screen. It's just showing highlights from Eric Stevenson's 1 year at WVU. Could Eric Stevenson be the greatest one-season Mountaineer of all time? Haven't done a lot of research on that, but not a lot of one-season guys. But we're going to have more and more of that. And the first guy, he's definitely better than Matt Humphreys. Was it singular Humphrey or Humphreys? Anyways, the guy that Bob Huggins swore off fifth-year seniors until Eric Stevenson. Well, he did that last year. Anyways, Eric Stevenson, starter in all 5 seasons of college basketball with 4 different schools, saved his best for Morgantown. Led the team this year in scoring, led the team in swag. I mean, this man was talking junk to Marcus Smart. He was telling broadcasters in the Auburn game that he's going for 40. Huggins in multiple press conferences saying that he's crazier than Eric Stevenson, and you only say that because Eric Stevenson's crazy. And that Huggins thought that Eric Stevenson was crazy. And listen, it wasn't high times all year. Stevenson started Big 12 play fouling out of the Kansas State game in Manhattan. The next game was the crotch grab game. Public apology. It was like Samson getting his hair cut. Went on a 4-game scoring slump. But scored 16 in the win at Lubbock and then went off in the Auburn game and really didn't look back. Ended up 3rd team all Big 12. His season was a roller coaster, but you couldn't look away. What a one-season performance for Eric Stevenson. He had our attention. We wish Eric the best in his future endeavors. The next guy on the in memoriam montage, Kedrian Johnson. They're showing highlights of Kedrian Johnson's 3 years in Morgantown. And his first moment was in his first season with WVU was the comeback win at Oklahoma State. If you remember, West Virginia was down 16 in the second half. Kedrian Johnson comes in, did not have any steals, but his energy and his activity on the defensive end and just all around really turned the game around. He made a clutch 3, had 5 assists, and that was his coming out party. Got better in his second season, found his way to the starting lineup, but in his last season with WVU, he shined. He got the starting point guard job over a very capable Joe Toussaint, got to the line a ton, very aggressive getting to the hoop this year, and improved his free throw shooting. His first season with WVU, 61% from the line. His last year, 83%, and shot a ton of free throws. Couple of, I think he had a 10 for 10 game, a 14 of 15 game, and you had to respect his 3. Not a great three-point shooter, but had to respect it. Ended his career with a dominant performance that ended up being a loss to the Maryland Terrapins. But when I'll think of Kedrian Johnson, I'll think of him grimacing. I mean, the man played through pain. Hip injury. I'll think of Kedrian as always hitting the ground hard. It was never a graceful landing with Kedrian Johnson, but that was his style. He went all out, tough guy, fast guy, and just cool as a cucumber. What a building of his career from season 1 to season 3. Kedrian Johnson, I wish him well in his future endeavors. And the guy that gets the last spot on the in memoriam highlight package, Emmett Matthews Jr. His coming out party was in a sad season, but Huggins dismissed some guys, changed the starting lineup, played a bunch of freshmen, including one Emmett Matthews Jr., and that resulted in Kansas City against the eventual runner-up in NCAA basketball. He scored 28 against the Texas Tech Red Raiders, including that amazing dunk over Tariq Owens. With respect to Tariq Owens, it was an amazing dunk. And then his next season, last game of the year, ended up being the last game of the season, pandemic. He had 18 points against a really good Baylor team. And he won the Cammy Award this year for his winning dunk at Ames late in the season. And then in his last regular season game, he scored 20 points against Kansas State, going toe-to-toe with Keontae Johnson. I'll remember Emmett Matthews' eyes. How could you forget him? The most dreamiest eyes. I'll also remember his positive attitude, which felt sometimes like too relaxed, but definitely supporting of his teammates, calm presence on the court, and came back to graduate a Mountaineer. He will be missed. Emmett Matthews, we wish you the best in your future endeavors. Are you on the Twitter? Unreasonable Doubts on the Twitter. Find stuff about the podcast and other takes that aren't on the podcast on Twitter at I'm Josh Witt. IMJOSHWHITT. Check it out. The Twitter. Welcome back to the 6th annual Cammy Awards. We're at the final award of the night. You know what it is. Most valuable player. So the nominees for most valuable player of the 2022-2023 West Virginia University men's basketball season are Kedrian Johnson, Emmett Matthews Jr., Trey Mitchell, and Eric Stevenson. And the award for most valuable player goes to Eric Stevenson. Congratulations to Eric. What an imprint he made in just one season. He scored 31 against Auburn, 34 against the Oklahoma Sooners, 5 straight 20-plus point games near the end of the season. In the time where West Virginia needed wins to get to the NCAA tournament, Stevenson led the way. I'll remember Eric's footwork, just so smooth getting his shots. The fadeaway was smooth. His shot was, when he was on, he absolutely was on. So congratulations to Eric Stevenson for the Cammy for Most Valuable Player. I accept the award on his behalf. So that's it for the Cammies, the 2022-2023 West Virginia University Mountaineers. Quite a roller coaster season, but it was an NCAA tournament season and a better season than the last season. So congratulations to all the Cammy winners. We'll see you next year for the 7th annual Cammy Awards. What? Anyways, I'm your host, Josh Witt. Thank you for joining us again this year. Good night. Unless you're listening to this during the day, then good day, sir or ma'am. Goodbye.